Good day, everyone. Today I will be discussing the research title called Effects of Milling Methods on the Properties of Rice Flour and Steamed Rice Cakes, conducted by Guzhen Wang, Xiaoqin Yan, Bowen Wang, Xinping Hu, Shi Chen, and Wenping Ding in 2022. This study focuses on a cereal processing technique called milling, and milling is the process of grinding rice grains into rice flour. At first, milling might seem like a simple step, but in reality, it is very important because it can change the structure of the rice starch and the size of the flour particles. These changes can strongly affect how the flour behaves during cooking and how the final food product turns out. So rice flour is widely used in many rice-based foods around the world. When rice is milled differently, the flour may absorb the water differently, cook differently, and even produce different textures in foods such as rice cakes, noodles, and baked products. In this presentation, I will explain the objectives of the study, why the research was conducted, the methods used by the researchers, the important findings of the study, and the possible applications of these results, especially in the Philippines, where rice is a major staple food. So, understanding this study is important because improving milling techniques can help improve the overall food quality, and it would also reduce environmental impact and make rice processing more efficient. So this study mainly focuses on how different milling methods influence the quality of rice flour and the quality of foods made from it, especially from steamed rice cakes. So the researchers wanted to understand something very important. Even if we use the same rice grain, the flour we produce can become very different depending on how we mill the rice. So when rice grains are ground into flour, the mechanical force from grinding can break the starch granules inside the rice. So the starch is the main component of rice, and plays a big role in determining the texture of rice-based foods. When starch granules are damaged during milling, they can absorb water faster, swell more during cooking, and sometimes it can break down more easily. Because of this, the milling method can change important characteristics of the flour, such as the particle size, the starch damage, water absorption, swelling capacity, viscosity, and gelatinization behavior. These properties determine how the flour behaves during mixing, fermentation, heating, and steaming. So the researchers also connected flour quality to food quality. They used the flour to make steamed rice cakes, which allowed them to observe how different milling methods affect the texture, softness, elasticity, and taste of the final product. So, in simple terms, the researchers wanted to answer this question. If we change the milling method, how will it affect the flour properties and the qualities of rice cakes? So, for the objectives of the study, the first objective of the study was to compare three different milling methods. These methods are dry milling, wet milling, and semi-dry milling. Each method processes rice in a different way before grinding. So dry milling means that the rice grains are ground directly without soaking them in water. Wet milling involves soaking rice in water before grinding, while semi-dry milling is a combination of the two methods where rice is soaked but excess water is removed before milling. The second objective was to examine how these milling methods affect several important factors or properties of rice flour. One of these properties is rice flour structure. So the structure of flour refers to how the starch granules and particles are arranged after milling. When grinding is very strong, the starch granules can break, which changes how the flour behaves during cooking. Another property studied is starch damage. When starch granules are damaged during grinding, they become more exposed to water and enzymes. This means that the flour can absorb water faster, but too much starch damage can negatively affect the food texture. The researchers also studied particle size refers this refers to how fine or coarse the flour particles are. Smaller particles usually create smoother doughs and softer food textures, while larger particles may create rougher textures. So they also investigated the functional properties of the flour, such as the water absorption and the swelling ability. So these properties are important because they determine how the flour behaves when it is mixed with water and heating during cooking. Another objective of the study was to determine how the different flour affects the texture and sensory quality of steamed rice cakes. So the texture refers to characteristics such as softness, the chewiness, elasticity, and the structure. So finally, the researchers wanted to identify which milling method is more efficient and more suitable for large-scale food production. This is very important in food processing industries because they have or they need different methods in making these products. For the justification of the study, so the researchers conducted this study because rice is one of the most important foods in the world. More than half of the global population depends on rice as a main source of energy. So rice is also very versatile because it can be processed into many products such as rice cakes, noodles, bread, gluten-free foods, and many other products. So rice flour is especially important for people who cannot consume wheat because rice naturally does not contain gluten. Traditionally, high quality rice flour is produced using wet milling. In wet milling, rice grains are soaked in water before grinding. So soaking softens the rice grains and reduces friction during grinding. Because of this, the starch granules inside the rice are less likely to break. However, wet milling has several disadvantages because it requires a large amount of water, which increases production costs and uses valuable water resources. It also produces wastewater, which may contain starch and other nutrients that can pollute the environment if not properly treated. Another problem with wet milling is that it takes a long time. The rice needs to soak for many hours before grinding, which makes the process slower. On the other hand, dry milling is much faster and uses less water. However, dry milling involves stronger grinding forces because the rice grains are hard and dry. This strong mechanical force can cause higher starch damage and may produce a flour with rougher particles. When starch granules are damaged too much, so the flour may absorb water too quickly, which can negatively affect the dough structure and the texture of food products. Because both wet Milling and dry milling have disadvantages. The researchers explored semi-dry milling as a possible alternative. Semi-dry milling involves soaking rice first, but removing excess water before grinding. So the idea is that the soaking softens the rice grains and reduces damage during grinding, while removing excess water reduces wastewater production. So therefore, the researchers wanted to see if semi-dry milling could produce flour with quality similar to wet milling but with less environmental impact. In the next slide, we will be tackling about methodologies used in the study. So to conduct the experiment, the researchers first prepared rice flour using three milling methods. For dry milling, the rice grains were ground directly into flour without soaking them in water. Because the rice grains were dry and hard, the grinding force was stronger. For wet milling, the rice grains were soaked in water for 24 hours before grinding. So soaking allows water to enter the rice grains and soften the internal structure. This makes the grinding process gentler and reduces starch damage. For semi-dry milling, the rice grains were also soaked in water. However, before grinding, the excess water was removed. This means that the rice grains were softer than the dry rice, but not as wet as those used in wet milling. After preparing the flour, the researchers conducted several tests to analyze its properties. So they measured damaged starch to determine how much of the starch granules were broken during milling. This is very important because damaged starch can change water absorption and cooking behavior. They also measured particle size distribution to determine how fine the flour particles were. Particle size affects the texture of the dough and final food products. Next, they studied water absorption and swelling capacity. When flour absorbs water, the starch granules swell during heating, which affects the thickness and structure of the final product. They also analyze thermal properties using special instruments. These tests show how starch behaves when it is heated, including the temperature at which gelatinization begins. So gelatinization is the process where starch granules absorbs water and swell when heated, forming a gel-like structure. The researchers also studied rheological properties, which describes how the flour behaves when mixed and stretched. Rheology is important because it affects the dough stability and elasticity. After analyzing the flour, the researchers used the flour to prepare steamed rice cakes. So the flour was mixed with water, sugar, yeast, and baking powder. The mixture was allowed to ferment and then it was steamed to produce rice cakes. Finally, the rice cakes were evaluated based on the structure, the texture, the volume, and sensory qualities such as taste, smell, and overall capacity. So, the slide 6 is the findings of the study. So, the results of the study showed clear differences between the three milling methods. First is the dry milling produced the highest level of damaged starch. This happened because the dry rice grains are harder and require stronger grinding force. When grinding force is too strong, it breaks the starch granules inside the rice. Because of this, dry milled flour had larger and rougher particles. So these rough particles made the flour less uniform, which affected the texture of the rice cakes. So rice cakes made from dry milled flour were found to have poorer texture and lower sensory quality. Second, wet milling produced finer flour with less starch damage. So because of this, the rice grains were soaked before grinding and that the grains becomes more softer. This reduced the mechanical stress during milling. The finer particle size allowed the flour to form smoother dough and more stable structure during steaming. As a result, the rice cakes made from wet milled flour had a better texture, elasticity, and overall quality. However, wet milling still required a larger amount of water and produced wastewater which can cause environmental concerns. Third, semi-dry milling produced flour with properties very similar to wet milled flour. Because the rice grains were soaked before milling, they were softer and experienced less mechanical damage compared to dry milling. However, since excess water was removed before grinding, the process used less water than wet milling. The rice cakes made from semi-dry milled flour had a good texture, acceptable taste, and good sensory quality, which were close to those made from wet milled flour. This means that the semi-dry milling successfully balanced both quality and efficiency. So, did the study achieve its objective? Yes, the study successfully achieved its objectives. So the researchers were able to clearly demonstrate the different milling methods significantly affect rice flour properties and the quality of steamed rice cakes. So they showed that the dry milling causes higher starch damage and produces flour with rougher particles. So they also confirmed that wet milling produces high quality flour but requires a larger amount of water and creates wastewater. Most importantly, the study showed that semi-dry milling can produce flour with properties close to wet milled flour while using less water. Because of this, semi-dry milling was identified as a more efficient and environmentally friendly milling method. So this means that the study successfully identified a processing method that can contain both product quality while improving this sustainability. Applications and recommendations in the Philippines. So the findings of this study have many possible applications in the Philippines. So rice is one of the most important food in the country and rice flour is used in many traditional Filipino foods such as puto, rice cakes and rice noodles. So using semi-dry milling could help local producers produce rice flour with good quality while reducing water consumption. So this is especially important because water resources must be used responsibly and reducing wastewater helps protect the environment. So semi-dry milling could also help small food businesses and rice processing industries to improve their production efficiency. Because the process uses less water and requires less processing time than wet milling, it may reduce the production costs. Finally, the researchers in the Philippines can also continue studying milling methods using local rice varieties and other cereals such as corn. So this could help improve cereal processing technologies and support food innovation in the country. So to summarize, this study showed that the milling method plays a very important role in determining the quality of rice flour and rice-based food products. So drying is fast but causes more starch damage and produces lower quality rice cakes. But milling produces high quality flour and better food texture but requires large amounts of water and produces wastewater. Semi-dry milling offers a good balance because it produces similar to wet milled flour while reducing water usage and improving efficiency. Because of these advantages, semi-dry milling has a strong potential for sustainable rice processing and food production. So that would be all. Thank you for listening.